Okay, gentlemen, we are only about how many of us here for now? 6 of us here for now. Let's give the next 4 to 10 minutes to see if other colleagues will join so that we wrap up miscellaneous provision. But while we wait for them, let me do a kind of on-the-spot assessment to get feedback. Starting Liteboho, this training so far, does it make sense to you? Because that is our primary interest, not just to gather. Have you learned, to all of you, particularly those of you from Lesotho, apart from Oscar now, every participant on the platform is from Lesotho. The training so far, have you gained value? Is there any new thing you have gotten to know to add to your practice? Do you think that the whole time and resources spent so far by you in attending this lecture or training, do you think it is worth it? So can we have feedback from a few of you? Comments, please. Okay, go ahead, sir. Mustafa, go ahead. Masupa.
Oh, thank you, Dato. I think at the moment, I can say the course is very useful. In as much as I usually experience connection problems here and there, I think I have to take the issue with my network provider. But from what I've gathered from this course, it is very relevant on our day-to-day activities in as much as we are not engaged in legislative drafting, but it's relevant in the private practice to an extent of drafting your constitutions, because currently I'm engaged in drafting a constitution for a church. So it's very useful. It's very useful. It's very practical. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Can we have another feedback from any other person? Madam Shetak, welcome back. We're glad to have you on the call today. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Mr. Ebenezer. Good afternoon.
Okay, so do we have any other person, any other feedback? Mr. Charles, can we have your take? Nteboheng Lekaka, can we have your take? We are trying to get a feedback on the training so far. Uren, welcome. You have been a wool. Hello, Uren. You have been missing in action. What happened?
I'm sorry, sir. I've been too engaging. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Afternoon.
Hello, Mr. Seaman. Good afternoon. Mr. Seaman, can you hear me? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I think you are joining the class for the first time today. Am I correct?
Very well, sir. You're correct, sir.
Thank you. Kindly turn on your video and introduce yourself to the class. Tell us your name, where you are joining us from, how you got to know about this training, and whether you are in private or public practice. Just a few introduction. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I'm Sima Luka, Senior State Counsel in the Plateau
Senior
Ministry of Justice. I'm joining.
Plateau State.
Hello?
Yes.
Ministry of Justice, sir.
Which state?
I'm joining for the first time, unfortunately. Plateau State. From Plateau State.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are with Madam Sheta.
I got to know from, yes, our darling director, our mother.
Okay. Welcome.
Yes, sir.
We are glad to have you on the
Unfortunately,
call,
I'm joining for the first time, sir.
and we hope to see you more often. The training is a 12 weeks course. Today, Friday, we are rounding off our week 7
Wow.
of the training. So that means 7 weeks training has already taken place, and you have missed that 7 weeks. So what were you waiting for all this while? But it's better
Sorry,
late than never.
my phone was stolen. I got a
Oh,
new
sorry.
one. It got issues again, so I was offline for some weeks when this platform was posted.
Okay, you are
Fine,
here
my
now. That
colleague
is what
just
is
reminded
important.
me that I need to join, so that's how I
You are here
just joined.
now. That is what is
Yes.
important, and we hope going forward you'll be consistent. Never mind, at the end of when we get to the end of the timetable, we will start all over again. So you will have opportunity to gain the knowledge you have missed for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless. Thank you.
Okay, by my time, it is 13 minutes past 12, and I think we have, we're still not up to 10, we are just 10. Okay, 11 here. So I think we should commence the class. The class will not be long. We just want to look at what we have been doing throughout this week. 1, 2, have you asked questions for clarification? 3, I encourage you to do your assignments. 4, ask you questions to test your level of understanding so far. Now, to help yourself, we have a YouTube channel. So you can always go back, look at the income messages. Even if you missed a lecture, the class is usually posted on the YouTube channel. So you can actually go there, sit down, listen to any of the lectures you missed out on, or even the one you were part of. Just go and listen over and over again at your own pace, so that you continue to familiarize yourself with these principles. So we have been, sorry, please, let me quickly take this call, just 2 minutes, very important. Attempted that assignment. Please look at it. Look at that assignment. Check your WhatsApp message, your WhatsApp platform. You will see the widowhook bill. Please go through it. And I think that assignment is actually very simple. Yes, if you have been part of this training from the beginning, I expect you to close your eyes and do that assignment. Now, I know it is not as simple as I have said it, but in terms of identifying the missing provisions, you should be able to do that. So look at the WhatsApp platform. You should be able to say, yes, here it is this provision that is missing. The drafter of this bill omitted to include this. That's simply what we are saying you should do. Then you attempt drafting that particular provision that is missing. I don't think that's too much a labor, but for some people, as a beginner, it will be difficult, it will be challenging, but just do it. Because if you check legislative drafting, that word drafting is present continuous. So you keep draft, you keep doing it. So let's go into today's lecture. We already know that there are 4 parts of a bill. We have dealt with the preliminary provisions. We have dealt with the principal provisions. We are dealing with miscellaneous provisions this week, which ends today. On Monday, we will enter final provisions.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please kindly mute your mic so that there will not be a holdback. Thank you, ma'am. Welcome. So we said the word miscellaneous comes from the Latin word miscellaneous. It is spelled Miscellaneous. Now the A, there is a hyphen on top of that A. It is Latin. And we say that this word comes from the word miscellus. Miscellus. And this miscellus means mixed, to mix something together. And that the word miscellus may have come from misculus, Misculus, which is the presumed base of the vulgar Latin verb misculare, Misculare. Now the A has a hyphen on top of it, and that also means to mix something. The verb, the action word, to mix. Then that miscellaneous is made up of miscellus and the adjective suffix annus. So there are 2 words: miscellus, one part; annus, one part. Bringing it together gives us miscellaneous. However, the suffix annus may have come from collectanus. So you just remove the collect and use the annus. Collectanus means assembled from different sources. Collecting something, collect here, collect there, collect here, collect. So collectanus means assembled from different sources. And the singular word for that is miscreant. So all the traces we have done, we arrive as the word miscreant, as the etymology, the root word for miscellaneous, because miscreant means mixed up. Different items, assortment of things mixed together. Okay, maybe if you know these little beads, or let me use bead as example. If you have a box, small box that has 100 beads, 20 green, 10 yellow, 5 red, 3 blue, 8 lemon, different colors of bead, but in the same box, mixed together. That's, I think, a perfect example of the picture. So, in legislative drafting, miscellaneous provisions are that part of the bill or legislation that contains a mix-up or assortments of provisions that are designed to cover up any loophole or circumstances that are not covered as part of the principal provision. So if you understand the function of miscellaneous provision, it will help you a lot in understanding it and in drafting it. That the primary function is to cover up lacunae, gaps, loopholes in the principal provisions. And these loopholes Not as if that there exist just those loopholes that will become a stumbling block. Understand it from that perspective. Not loopholes that you forgot to put them there, no. But loopholes that if they are not part of the bill, they will become a stumbling block to the effective actualization or implementation of your principal provisions. So the subheadings under miscellaneous provisions are as follows. 1. Offenses and ancillary and provisions ancillary to offenses, such as time for action or time for prosecution. So if you create an offense, you have to put limitation of action around it, time frame within which that offense could be prosecuted. So if you did not bring a charge within this period, if you did not file a, sorry, not a charge, if you did not file a suit within this period of time, because we are looking at civil suits here, if you did not file a suit within this period, then you are barred from taking that action. So it's not enough to create offense. You need to create regulations, procedures around that offense, one of which is time for litigation, time for prosecution, time to lay your complaints. 2, continuing offenses. What could you be doing and you say, okay, this you are still continuing in this offense you have committed? What other offenses are connected to the principal offense? 3, offenses by statutory corporations. What conduct, what act would have happened and you say that a statutory corporation has committed an offense? Do not forget that a statutory corporation is not a natural person, even though it is a juristic person. So, what conduct could the staff of that statutory corporation do and it will become an offense? Now, who is liable? That is where vicarious liability comes in. Who is liable? Where a statutory corporation commits an offense. Then 2, miscellaneous and supplementary provisions such as evidentiary provisions. How do you tender evidence? How do you prove that offense? What are the elements of that offense that has been committed? Then 3, power to make subsidiary legislations. If you finish drafting, there is no how you will be able to fathom every iota of a circumstance that might come up in the future. So you give allowance so that tomorrow, if something comes up, the head of the agency or commission can be able to make a law, a regulation, deriving his power from the principal act to make subsidiary legislation to ensure the achievement of the objective of your principal provisions. Then we looked at it. It also includes licensing and registration. Provisions, license and registration provisions cover appointment of licensing authority, the object of each activity, the manner of application for license, the sanction for breach, and the obligation to obtain a license or fraudulent behavior. Now, these things are all under license. Who is the issuing authority? What is the procedure for obtaining a license? Is there a checklist of documents? Now, what is even a procedure where there is breach or failure to obtain the license? What's the prescribed punishments? It has to be written. where somebody is unjustly denied his license, what is the procedure of appealing to seek redress? You have to put it there. What is the sanction? If somebody fraudulently obtains a license or obtains one through a fraudulent means, how do you punish that person? You have to put it there. Then issues around inspection. What is the procedure? Then we talked about jurisdiction of courts. Now you need to specify the court that has jurisdiction to try a particular matter. Not just the courts, but also the government agency with authority to prosecute. And we cited two examples here. One of the FCC Act. The initial time the Act came into existence or was enacted, there was no clear specification on the court that had jurisdiction to try economic, financial crimes. So an ex-governor, a former governor of a particular state, Mr. James Ibori, was charged for economic crimes while in office. So if he was taken to federal courts, his lawyers will raise objection to say that, my lord, this court does not have the powers to try this case because there is nothing in the act that says this court has jurisdiction. If you take him to state high court, the same objection will be raised and the matter will be struck out. Not because the judge did not want to do justice, but because the judge cannot arrogate to himself jurisdiction that has not been conferred on him by the law, the establishing acts. We also had the case of Kabiru Sokoto, the suspect that was responsible for the Nyanya bomb blast. When he was arrested and charged to court, the DSS and the police were dragging between themselves who has the power to prosecute the young man. The Prevention Act, the first one, did not confer jurisdiction to prosecute or prosecutory power to either the police or the DSS. Now the judge had no choice but to strike out the matter. Now, the challenge here is not just that the judge will strike out the matter. The challenge is that the press will report what happened, but not as judge strike charge against terrorism suspects. Full stop. Then the public will get busy. They have compromised the judge, they have compromised the police. Everybody will start talking without knowing that in the same part of it. So you see that it is a mix of, it's an assortment of different things. That is why it is miscellaneous. When I was growing up, we used to go to market with a list. Then when you write the items you want to buy, the ones you are sure of, you are setting out from your house to go and buy. Then you now put miscellaneous. These ones, I am not sure of them. I don't even know what they are. They might come up on the spot. Then you make allowance, allot a particular amount of money for that. You might go to the market and there will be no need to use that money. You might also get to the market and something comes up, you buy it and come home as miscellaneous. The same thing happens in program planning. if you're planning a program or budget, when you finish budgeting every item, you can put, even if you put logistics at the end of the day, you put miscellaneous. This is a space all foreseen circumstances that might demand that we make this expenditure. You allot money. So, but in our own miscellaneous provision, we can forecast these ones we have listed. Then, because we are not God and we do not know everything, we now make allowance for the head of the agency to continue making the law. As long as a new issue, a new challenge comes up, a regulation, subsidiary regulation will be made to address it, so that at no point will the law become impracticable or unimplementable. Any questions so far, please? Any question? Any question? Mr. Simon. Mr. Simon. Hello, Mr. Simon. Hello, Mr. Simon. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Hello?
I can't see him again.
I'm here, sir.
Okay. Are you in legislative department? I said,
No, sir.
are you in legislative drafting department?
I'm in civil litigation, sir. But we do virtually everything. The department is just for administrative convenience. And I work more in legislative drafting department.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You work more in legislative drafting. I just wanted to be sure that the things I'm saying are not totally new to you.
No, they are not.
So you have an idea what you're talking about. That's what I wanted to confirm.
Very well, sir.
It's okay. Thank
you, sir.
So, any question? You're welcome. Any question? I'm not seeing any hand up. Okay, so I assume that your silence is consent, that you have understood everything we have said on this topic. So, as usual, I'm going to ask my own question. But before I do, kindly check, look at the WhatsApp group. You will see the widowhood bill. It has been posted again. The question, a copy of this is the assignment for week 7. A copy of the widowhood bill, a copy of the widowhood leave bill 2023 is provided. The bill does not have certain compartments of miscellaneous provisions, such as offense and provisions ancillary to offenses, such as time limit for act prosecution, continuing offenses, offenses by corporations which refuse to grant leave to widows or widowers. It also does not provide certain portions of miscellaneous provisions, such as the power to make subsidiary legislation. The said Widowhood Leave Bill 2023 also uses the phrase explanatory notes instead of explanatory memorandum. You are to redraft the said bill, by inserting all necessary components. Also remember to redraft the arrangement of clauses section. So this is the assignment for this week. We use this same assignment for miscellaneous, for preliminary and principal. Now we are miscellaneous provision. So the widowhood bill has been posted. Just download the bill and fill in the gaps, so to speak. Not objectives this time around, but filling the missing clauses, focusing on miscellaneous provisions. Then the explanatory notes and explanatory memorandum is there. They use explanatory notes instead of explanatory memorandum. So attempt drafting it and making it better. So that is the assignment for this week. Any question? Any question? Wow, the silence is deafening. Okay, Prof, let me yield the mic to you, sir.
No, I think when they understand, those that submitted assignments, I said, go and look at the widowhood bill again, the widow leave. Look at arrangement of section. If you want to be a good drafter, start with your arrangement of sections. Now that we say add miscellaneous provisions, it is not everything under miscellaneous provisions that will be added. Look at the assignment. I have singled out the parts of miscellaneous provisions that should be added. So if I were the one doing that assignment, I will start with the arrangement of clauses, section 1, clause 2, clause 3. What should be there? Because once you get the arrangement of sections or clauses right, then your drafting will be easy. So start with that, do it first. Then now that you are redrafting that widowhood bill, the long title will change. A bill for an act to provide for mandatory 28-day leave for all widows and widowers who have lost their spouse and for related purposes. So by practicing this, start from long title, commencement date, by practicing it, you get better. I had to correct somebody. The mistakes we make, somebody was drafting the commencement, he put only one square bracket. You know, square bracket is 2 at the beginning and at the end. So that's alone, that's a serious mistake. So the reason you start from the top, when you have done your arrangement of sections, when you start from long title, so that you don't miss anything. So take time. This weekend, you may go for your night club, but on Saturday, you find time, do 1 or 2. Sunday, you do another one. Before you know it, before Monday, you are finished. So the more you practice, the better you become.
Thank you, Prof.
Mm.
Thank you very much. Once again, we have noticed, observed, I will put it on your platform for our legislative participants. The number of participants is increasingly dwindling. And like I said, it is only those who have gone through the training from the beginning to the end that will be qualified or entitled to have their certificates issued to them upon completion of the requirements for issuance of certificates or processing fee and all that. So endeavor to tell your colleagues to make out time. Yes, Prof.
People don't know that there are 2 things you're learning by being part of this class. One, yes, legislative drafting. The next one is, do you know that you are learning skills such as consistency, perseverance? As a drafter, there's a topic, is a whole different, the ethics of legislative drafting. Drafting is not for lazy people. Yes, come in. Yes, welcome. Good afternoon. How is daddy? Welcome, welcome. So drafting is not for lazy uh, when you're not committed. Your ability to do 1 hour every Monday to Friday, that commitment, you require it for drafting. So your being here every week is a training. You're training yourself. You have a schedule. Remember, before now, what led to the development of legislative drafting as a distinct discipline within the legal profession? Before now, lawyers were drafting anyhow. The Parliament of UK in 1869, they said no more. They set up a law to create the office of Legislative Council, Parliamentary Council. So you can see it was due to indiscipline, randomness, that the office of Parliamentary Council was created with rules governing legislative drafting. Discipline, conventions, they said this is how we want it to be done, not any lawyer doing anyhow you like. So for you to commit yourself to this, you need that discipline. It's not going to be, it's not because you have a piece of paper. I attended, when I did my master's in legislative drafting, we were 31 of us. I can count only 2 of us are committed legislative drafters. One of them, she's the head of drafting, Lagos State House of Assembly, Mrs. Adegbite. You could tell the other ones were just there, they wanted a paper certificate, let them go. And one of them used it to contest election, Abia State, as soon as he got his LLM. So, but just the 2 of us have stayed committed to legislative drafting. Mrs. Adegbite, she's still there. We communicate. When this Lagos State thing happened, she said, Doc, give me ideas. What is happening about the use of the maize? I had to write an article. I researched about the use of maize in legislative sessions, the implication. So yesterday, I was so excited. The director of research, Lesotho Law Reform Commission, she did a presentation to the Chief Justice and other stakeholders, sentencing guidelines of Lesotho. All she presented, because I saw her paper before, all was based on, I trained them on legislative drafting. So she could marshal out the points on how the sentencing guidelines could come in as a subsidiary legislation. She did a fantastic job. People were so excited. They said she should do another presentation in the parliament. So that is what you get when you pay attention, you commit yourself to this. You have other areas of law. You can, nothing stops you. You are still a litigation lawyer, but adding legislative drafting to your practice also increases your stream of income. So, on that note, Ebenezer, carry on.
Thank you very much, Prof. On this high note, we want to call it a day here. Do have a restful and productive weekend, particularly doing your assignments. See you all on Monday. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you and goodbye.